Hi everyone, Leticia here again with Made with Love by Glama, where everything here is made and taught by me, Glama. Okay, today's tutorial is going to be the third slipper booty tutorial that everyone has been asking me about. Everyone's been saying, have I missed the third booty slipper? And no, you guys haven't. I've just been really busy with craft shows and stuff, and so I went ahead and made the booty slipper yesterday. The one that you saw in the other video, the first video, was a brown one that I made for my daughter. This one is out of the Gray Heather Red Heart Super Saver that I used for my last little slipper, my puckerless non-skid slipper. So I still had some yarn left over, so I was able to make this pair of booty slippers and the other non-skid puckerless slippers, all from the same skein of yarn. So anyway, today's nail polish color is, in honor of the color of the booty slipper that I'm making, gray and pink. I used, let me see, it's by Pure Ice and it's called Silver Mercedes. And I made some stripes with a soft pink Wet n Wild color. It doesn't really have a name of the color, it's just 451C. So I don't know if you can see the stripes or not, but I just thought, well, I'm making a gray and pink slipper, I'll put some nail art on, even though you can barely see it. So anyway, there's the name of the polish that I'm wearing today. But this whole tutorial is going to be made for my size foot, which is a 5. It might fit a 6, but it's going to fit a size 5 for sure, because I made it a little tighter just because I don't want, since this part up here is looser, I didn't want it to be sliding off my foot and for this to be going under my foot as I walk. So this is nice and snug, and this is a little bag here. Let me see if I can zoom out, so that you can tuck your jeans into it, or you can wear it with leggings. And these buttons are functional, so you can even kind of wear them down like this or something, you know. You can even wear them in different ways, so whatever suits you. Alrighty then, let's get started. Go get your yarn. I'm using a J hook again. You can use whatever size hook you want. I've got my scissors, I've got my row counter, and you are going to be needing a stitch marker or a piece of yarn in a different color than your working yarn. So okay, go ahead and get your stuff together, and I'll get everything out of my way so that I can crochet. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, I also wanted to tell you that another difference that I did on this slipper than I did on the previous non-pucker, non-skid slipper is that I don't have any seams on the foot of this slipper, because I didn't join with a slip stitch after every single row. What I did is I just went ahead and worked in the round, a spiral basically, so that there would be no seams whatsoever. And so I'll be showing you how to do that. Okay, I'm back, and I wanted to show you the picture that I took. I put the booty on my mannequin yesterday, and I took this picture. So this is what it looks like on. You can see she's wearing leggings, and I think it's really cute. This part's nice and snug, but this part is a little baggier, so you can tuck your jeans in. So anyway, and we're also going to be making a shell edging along the edges here. I'm going to show you how to make buttonholes. And then you can use whatever buttons you want. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I've got my yarn. So I'm still using the Gray Heather that I used on my last tutorial, of course, because I want to make my booty match. So go ahead and make your magic ring. I'm not going to go as slow on this tutorial just because, you know, most of y'all already have made the first slipper. And you saw how I made a magic ring on there. So if you have any questions about how to make the magic ring, maybe just go back to the other slipper tutorial. Okay, so I've made my magic ring. I'm gonna pull it a little tighter, and I'm going to put 12 single crochets into my magic ring. Okay, you can put however many you feel that you'll need for your size slipper. Everyone keeps asking me what or how many stitches they should put in their magic ring for their size of foot, and to be honest with you, I don't know. I'm just basically showing you how to make the slipper, and it's going to be basically trial and error for you to know how many stitches to put in your ring. You're going to have to make maybe a certain amount, maybe 15 or 18, and then make 2 or 3 rows and then try it over your toes and see how that fits. If that doesn't work, rip it out, try it again, which is what I had to do in order to make my first pair of slippers, this one. And then I had to do it again for my single crochet booty slipper. So I had to do trial and error as well. So I really can't tell you how many to do for your foot. But go ahead, and I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to put 12 into my ring, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, I'm back. I've got my 12 stitches in my magic ring, and for this very first row I am going to join it with a slip stitch, because we do have to close the circle so that we can start working in our spiral. So it's closed now, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back in there and make a single crochet. And if you have your piece of yarn or your stitch marker, you're going to want to put it right there on that very first single crochet that you made, and then put, oops, don't do that, and then put a second single crochet into that. And we're going to do that all the way around. This is going to be your increase row. We're going to put 2 stitches into every stitch from the previous row. The reason I'm putting the stitch marker on this very first one is because although we're working in a spiral, we still want to know how many times we went around, because you're going to want to make your other slipper match. So when we get to this stitch, we're going to move this, stitch into it, and we're going to move it up to the next stitch. We're going to move it up every single row, and you're going to keep track if you have a row counter. If not, you'll just have to keep a mental note of how many rows you've done. Go ahead and put 2 single crochets into every single stitch until you get around to either your yarn marker or your stitch marker. Okay, go ahead and meet me back here when you get to your stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I went ahead and put 2 single crochets into each stitch, and now I've got one more. I left one more to do with you on camera. So there's my first one into there. There's my second one. And now I'm up to the stitch with the stitch marker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out. Oops, I should zoom out a little bit. I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to put a single crochet into that spot. And I'm going to move the marker up to this spot now. And we're going to do that each time that we come around. We're going to stop there, and then we're going to remove the stitch marker, stitch into that, and then put the stitch marker on your new stitch. Okay, so now for this third row, we are done with our increase row. We're just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch, and then, like I said, move the marker up to your new one, and then we're just going to keep doing this for as many rows as you need. I'm going to do it for 22 rows, and you keep trying it on your foot to see how many you're going to be needing. Now that we're using single crochets, it's not going to be the same as we used for the other non-skid puckerless slipper. Even though these are puckerless, you're going to have to determine how many rounds you need, okay? So I will meet you back here when you've got the amount that you need and when I've got my 22 rows, okay? So happy crocheting. Meet you back in a little bit. Okay, we're coming to the end of my 22nd row. And what you're going to do here, you're going to go all the way to right there, the stitch right before the marker. And then you're going to take the marker out, and we're going to slip stitch into that so that now that we're ending the row, there's not a big drop off, a big gap there. We're going to make it nice and smooth by doing a slip stitch right there. See, now it's nice and smooth. Well, when I pull it tight it would be. right? That'll be nice and smooth. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, let me look at my notes. Slip stitch, then we're going to chain 1, turn our work around. But before we turn our work around, what I want you to do is, this is where the slip stitch was. Go to that stitch, skip it, and then go to this one and put your marker there. And that's where we're going to keep going back and forth. I'll show you in a second. I'll do this row with you. So we chained 1. Okay, so from this point on, I also want to say that now go ahead and reset your counter to 0. Whoops, we're going to start counting all over again. Okay, so for me, I'm going to do 13 rows of this, but you'll do however many you'll need. See, because we're going to be starting, let me zoom out a little bit. So we just did this part. I did 22 rows. I don't know how many you did. Now we're going to start the back heel part, and for me, I did, what did I say? I did 13 rows of single crochets to fit my heel perfectly. So you'll do however many you need. Just keep measuring it against your foot. Okay, so we chained 1, turned our work around, and now we're going to single crochet into it. If I can get it in there. Okay, single crochet all the way around. Okay, so here we are at the stitch marker. Just go right into the stitch with the stitch marker. Chain 1, turn your work around. So wait, that was row 1. Now we're on row 2. And the reason why, let me tell you why I switched. So here's the top of your slipper, and we're just going to leave a little gap there. So the reason why I switched to single crochets is because when I did half double crochets, there was big gaps here when I wanted to put the edging in on the ankle part. See, and I didn't like that. See those big gaps because of the half double crochets? I didn't like all the bigger holes when I put this edging in, so I started doing it in single crochets, and I like it better. There's no big gaps. Okay, so now that we've done this, just keep going back and forth, and keep measuring it on your foot until this goes all the way to the back of your heel, and then meet me back here. I'll do 13 rows, and then I'll meet you back. Okay. Well, I came back just because I thought about it in case there's anyone new out there, any beginners. We chained 1, and now we've turned our work around, and in case you don't know which stitch to go into, if you should go into that one or this one, I'm going, here's my chain. Okay, wait, there's the chain 1. Hold on, there's the chain 1, and then I turned my work around, and I'm going to go right into that stitch right there. Okay, and then go into the next one, and we're picking up both parts of the V, both parts of the stitch, and we're just going to go all the way around. And then when you get to the other side, do the same thing. Chain 1, turn your work around, and go right into that first stitch. Alrighty, now I'll see you back when I get to my 13th row. Have fun! Okay, I'm back. I'm at my 13th row of the heel right there, and let me zoom out a little bit. This is what yours should be looking like. So if yours looks like this, then you've done it right so far. And what I did is I put a little marker here. What I did is I brought my ends together and I put a marker right down at the bottom center. And now what we want to do is turn our slipper inside out, because we're going to stitch up the heel. And while you're in the inside part of the slipper, go ahead and weave your tail in if you want. Just pull it nice and tight, close up the hole, and then just weave your tail in. Make a knot and then weave it in. Okay, so now we're here and we want to line up our stitches. There's the bottom stitch, And what I'm going to do, rather than finishing this off, cutting it and then making a little knot here and then reinserting it here to stitch my way up, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to slip stitch my way down, and then I'm going to slip stitch the sides to the heel together, because I want to end up here so that I can make an edging around the ankle part. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. You can do it however you want. And I'm going to turn mine this way since we work our way this way. Okay, so just make a slip stitch all the way down till you get to the marker. Keep it nice and keep the slip stitches nice and loose, because we don't want it to start gathering. It's a nice day outside. It's pretty outside, nice and sunny, but it's cold, so I've got the fireplace on right now beside me. It's so cool. Crocheting with the fireplace on makes you feel all nice and toasty. Doing what I love, sitting by the fire and crocheting. Whoops. Yeah, I'm doing it right. Okay, so here's my marker. I'm going to stop at the stitch right before the marker. Okay, and I'm going to put my heel sides together, and let me see. What I want to do is so we're going to ignore that stitch right there, and I'm going to sew this stitch and that stitch together, the two stitches that are on either side of the marker stitch. At least that's what I'm going to do. Do it however you want, but this is what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, go in there, bring it through here. There we go. Now we have one. Okay, now be sure to, you see how you have that stitch and then this stitch. Be sure to line them up and grab the right stitch so that you end up even over here at the other end, okay? So here we have them lined up. Make sure to grab, when you grab this one, you grab that one. When you grab that one, you grab that one, and so on, okay? Make sure you grab the right stitch. I'll do a couple on camera, and then I'll meet you when I get to the other end at the top. Okay, so I'll meet you up here at the top. Okay, so here I am at the top, the last slip stitch that I'll be doing. I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to turn my work back the right way. That's what it looks like right there. I'm going to take my stitch marker out. Okay, and maybe I should, well, I'll do this later because I don't have my needle with me right now. So hopefully you weaved your toe part in. And now let's turn our slipper back the right way, right side out. And now you have yourself a regular slipper. If you want to stop here, you can, but I'm going to make it into that booty that we saw at the beginning of the video. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I already chained one, so what I'm going to do is make a single, if I can. I'm going to make a single crochet into here, and then I'm going to go all the way around, make single crochets all the way around till I get to this end, and then meet me back here, okay? Okay, so I'm at the other end now, and now I'm going to slip stitch this row shut. And so there's the slip stitch. Now we're going to, okay, this might sound weird to you, but we're going to turn our slipper around, and we're going to slip stitch our way down 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you slip stitch your way down 6, chain 1, turn your work back around, because now we're going to make a row of single crochets all the way to here, and I'll tell you why we did this here in a second. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make single crochets all the way down. Okay, I'm almost at the last stitch. There's where we made our first single crochet. We slip stitched our way down, then we chained one and slipped and single crocheted back that way. Now we're coming around. Here's my last stitch that I'm going to single crochet into, and now we are going to make that flap. So what you do for the flap, which is this part, we're going to do this right now. So this is for the left foot, and so what I did yesterday is when I came to this part, I slip stitched my way 6 this way and then went around. So we're doing it the opposite for the opposite foot. So you'll have to remember that for your next slipper, okay? Right now we are doing the right foot. So now what we're doing is chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this is going to be, see this part? This is the part that flaps closed, and then the buttons are right here. So that's this part, but like I said, this is for the left. This one that we're doing on camera together is for the right. So that's what I'm trying to say. I hope I don't confuse you more. So now we're going to, from the second chain from the hook, there's our first one, there's our second one, we're going to go into there and make single crochets. Okay. I hope this is all making sense to you. If not, you just may have to watch this a couple times and listen to my instruction a couple times for it to finally make sense to you. Okay, so there we just chained up. We just made single crochets into those stitches. Hopefully you made 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we chained 6, skipped a stitch, and then went into the second one, and we made 5 single crochets, and now we're at this part. So here's the little flap, and now we're going to go into this part right here and make a single crochet. Make single crochets all the way back to the other end. So you know what, I forgot to do my clicker though. Let me see. So we sewed up the heel and we did 1 row, and now this is our second row. Okay, so now do this all the way around. Let me just go with you on this one. Well, I'll just have you do it. Go all the way around till you get to this stitch marker. The stitch marker is your very last stitch. So go ahead and put your single crochet into there and then meet me when you get there, all right? Okay, so here I am. I'm almost at the marker. So I'm going to stitch right under that. Oops. I'm going to try to anyway. There we go. And now chain up 2 and turn your work around, because now we're going to make half double crochets. I made the booty part in half double crochet. So this is where we start our half double crochets, and what we're going to do, this is going to be an increase row. This is row 3 and it's our increase row. So what we're going to do is put that right there counts as a half double crochet, but we're going to put another one in there. Okay, and now we're going to make 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to make 2 half double crochets. Now we're going to make 1 half double crochet, followed, oops, I didn't make a half double crochet though, I made a single. Forgot to yarn over. Okay, now 1 half double crochet, and then 2, and then 1, and then 2. Follow that sequence all the way around, and even do that on the flap. Okay, so go all the way around and do it on that flap that we made. Okay, and then meet me when you get back, when you get to the end of the row. Okay. Okay, so I'm meeting you back here earlier because in case you're nervous about doing the little flap there, I thought I would do it with you. So right now I need to do 2 half double crochets into this part, and then 1 half double crochet into this next stitch, and then 2 into the next stitch, and then 1, and then the very last stitch we need to put 2 into it, if I can get in there. There it is. So there's 1, and there's our second one. Okay, and now we're going to chain 2. So this is our flap. You see, there's what it's starting to look like. Okay, and this increase row is what is going to make it where it starts getting wider, okay, like this. This is what's making it the wider part of the leg, so that you can stuff your jeans in there if you want. So anyway, we're at this point, and now we've chained up 2, and don't forget to do your clicker if you have one. Now we're on row 4, and turn your work around, and now this is not an increase row. We're done with the increase rows. Now we're just going to put 1 half double crochet into each stitch. Don't go into that first stitch right there, because it's being taken up by the chain 2, okay? So that chain 2 counts as a half double crochet. So don't go into there, go into the next one and make a half double crochet. And then just do that all the way around till you get to the other end. Get in here till you get back to this end, and then chain 2, turn your work around, and I did this until I got to row 7. So this is row 4 that we're working on right now. I did this until I finished row 7, and then row 8 I made my buttonhole on row 8. So you might want to do it the same, or you can make your buttonhole before, like down here. So if you want to do it down here, then just wait for me. I'm going to wait to do mine up here to match, but you may not want to do that. You may want to put 3, maybe 1 here, 1 there, and 1 up here. So once I show you how to make one buttonhole, I'm going to let you just do the rest yourself until you get to the top here, and then I'm going to meet you back when I can at the top so that I can teach you the shell part. But for now, meet me back when you're done with row 7, okay? Just put 1 half double crochet in each stitch until you get to row 7. Alrighty. Okay, I wanted to come back earlier. This is my first, I just now did my first row of half double crochets without the increases. This was my increase row, and now this is the first row that I'm finishing off without the half double crochets. The reason I'm back earlier though is because this is the last visible half double crochet stitch, but so that your end comes out nice and straight. I'm sure all of you seasoned crocheters know that that's not your last stitch. You have to go into here. For all you beginners, this doesn't look like it's a stitch, but it is. Remember, we chained up 2 and then we made a half double crochet. Well, we have to put a stitch at the top of that chain 2. So it's kind of hard to get in there. So a lot of times you think that's not a stitch, but it is. Wasn't that hard before? Let me see. There it is. You see, you can kind of see the little area that you need to go into, right? Oops, yarn over first though. And then go into that stitch. Even if it's hard, you got to get in there, because that is a stitch. If you don't get in there, your work is going to start angling this way. Okay, so there I am. See, I'm at the top of the chain 2, and see how it pulled it nice and taut and straight. So now we make our half double crochet, then you chain up 2, and if you think you might forget that the next time, get your stitch marker, because you don't need it down there anymore. And so there's the chain 2 that we just made. Put your stitch marker there so that you don't forget that when you come back around, that's your last stitch, okay? So you got to be sure to get that last stitch in there, or else your work will get crooked. Alrighty, now I'll meet you back at the end of row 7. Okay, so now chain up 2. This is row 8. Turn my work around and we're back on track. Okay, we're not going to go into that one once again because it's being taken up by the chain 2. So we're going to yarn over, go into this next stitch, make our half double crochet, yarn over, go into the next stitch. So remember this little process that we're doing because this is the buttonhole, and I'm not going to come back and show you how to do the next one. So remember this process of how we're making the buttonhole. We chained up 2, we went into that stitch, made a half double, so we made 2 half doubles after we chained up 2, okay? And now what we're going to do is chain 2, 1, 2. And so because we chained up those 2, we're going to skip 2 stitches. See, because those 2 chains belong to those 2 stitches, okay? So now we're going to half double crochet into the third one. 1, 2, 3. Half double crochet into the third one. And that's your buttonhole right there, okay? You just made a buttonhole. And I made mine on row 8, and then you can determine how far you want to go before you make your next one, okay? So go ahead now and just finish this row of half double crochets until you get back, go all the way around, and then when you come back this way, I'm going to meet you back here to show you how I stitch into that little chain, okay, just in case you don't know. Alright, so go ahead, work your way back this way and then back that way, and if you don't know how to do this part, you can wait for me and I'll show you. If you know how, then just keep on going back and forth till the booty is as tall as you want it, and until you want and where you want your next buttonhole, okay? I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back at the spot that I promised to come back at, and I'm going to make my last half double crochet there, and now we're going to do our half double crochets into that chain that we made. There's one chain, there's our second chain right there, see it at the top? Go into that, make your half double crochet, and now we're going to go into the next stitch right there. So now make your half double crochet and go in there, and you just completed your buttonhole, see? Okay, then just go ahead and finish the row. And don't forget that pesky little hidden stitch. I should do this off camera because you know how long it takes me to do it. I hope it doesn't take y'all as long as it takes me. Okay, that wasn't too bad that time. Okay, 1, 2, turn your work around. And now, what row am I on? Now I will be on row 10. So I'm not going to meet you back here until I'm ready to do the shell stitch, okay? Okay, so I'm at the end of my 16th row right here, and I chained 1. So what you want to do is chain 1, and then right back into that same stitch right there, make a single crochet, and then to make a shell, what you do is you do 5 double crochets into this next stitch right there. See, you just keep putting double crochets in there till you have 5 in there. This is 3, this is 4, and this is 5, and now you've got yourself a shell stitch. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And as you saw, I made a single crochet and then I did the shell in the stitch right next to it. This time though, we're not gonna go into that stitch next to it. We're gonna go into the second stitch from the shell, and we're going to single crochet into that one, and then we're gonna yarn over and do our next shell right next to the single crochet, okay? So we're gonna put 5 double crochets into that again. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then skip that next stitch right there and go into the next one with a single crochet. Okay, and then just start all over again. Now you're going to make a shell right into that next stitch after the single crochet. Okay, so do that all the way around your booty slipper until you get to this end. The reason we're starting at the top over here is because this is the inside flap. It's not going to be showing, and I didn't want it too bulky, so I didn't want to put the shell stitch here. So we're only putting it at the top, all the way around, and then all the way down, and then we're going to end it there and fasten off and then weave in our ends so that it looks like this. See, I don't have shell stitching on this flap, only on the top all the way around. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here when I'm done with my shells. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial of the basic stitches that we've used here. We only used single crochets and half double crochets. So this is the booty slipper that everyone has been asking me if they've missed, and y'all hadn't missed it, and it's a good thing that we waited, because I think you guys are going to enjoy this one a lot more because it doesn't have any pucker on the toe. So this is going to be way more comfortable than the brown one that I made for my daughter. So I'll have to make her another pair without the pucker too. So I know you enjoy these tutorials. The only thing I ask in return is that you watch the commercial and the ads in the beginning of the tutorial, and that's it. That's all I want in return. Alright guys, I can't wait to see pictures of the booties that you guys make. You can post the pictures on my Facebook page, which is Made With, no space between Made With, and then space, and then love, and then space, and then by Glama. That's my regular Facebook page, but if you want to go to my group page, just type in Ladies Crochet Show and Tell Happy Hour, and you can post your pictures there. Alright guys, like I said, thank you for visiting Made with Love by Glama, where everything here is made and taught with love, one stitch at a time. Bye!